Madam Deputy Speaker, I would like to make a statement on the Foreign and Commonwealth Office White Paper. This is an ambitious timetable, but on the basis of a very good deal the UK secured at the June European Council, the Government supports the aim of reaching an early agreement. This process should help bring to a close several years of debate on institutional reform and resolve these issues for the foreseeable future. The proposed reform treaty will be an amending treaty based on existing EU treaties, and as paragraph 1 of the IGC mandate clearly states, Madam Deputy Speaker, the constitutional concept, which consisted in repealing all existing treaties and replacing them by a single text called the Constitution, is abandoned. The Government's approach to the IGC negotiations is set out in detail in today's White Paper. We want a reform treaty that provides a way for an enlarged union of Member States to work together for mutual benefit, which sets out the EU's powers and their limits, which ensures that foreign policy remains based on unanimity, that protects national security and gives national parliaments a greater role in EU decision-making. The Government will not accept a treaty which transfers power away from the UK on issues of fundamental importance to our sovereignty. The agreement reached at the June European Council reflects the red lines set out by the UK. At the Council, we made clear that we wanted a treaty without constitutional characteristics, and we stated clearly that, firstly, we would not accept anything in a new treaty which required us to change our existing labour and social legislation. Secondly, we would protect our common law system and our police and judicial processes. Thirdly, we would maintain an independent foreign and defence policy. And fourthly, we would protect our tax and social security system. Madam Deputy Speaker, we secured all of this in the IGC mandate. We also secured an important clarification that national security is outside the scope of the treaty. For the first time, the new treaty will state explicitly that national security remains the sole responsibility of each Member State. The measures set out in the IGC mandate, and which now need to be turned into treaty text, offer the prospect of an EU which is more effective, democratic, open and streamlined. This will give the EU a clearer voice in promoting the agreed objectives that Member States want to deliver around the world, without impacting on the independence of Member States' foreign. The Reform Treaty will help make the EU more coherent. At the moment, the presidency of the EU rotates every 6 months. Instead, a new permanent president of the European Council will serve for a period of 2.5 years. Over the next 2.5 years, the presidency will be held in 6 months rotation by Portugal, Slovenia, France, the Czech Republic and Sweden. In future, the permanent presidency will help ensure better continuity. The Reform Treaty will also help make the EU better able to take decisions. The principle of qualified majority voting, established by the Treaty of Rome in 1958 and substantially expanded in the Single European Act of 1986, will be extended to allow decisions to be taken more easily on issues where the 27 Member States can bring real value by acting together. The UK will retain control over issues of importance to our national sovereignty, but there are many areas where it will be in our interest to work with EU partners and to unblock decision-making to allow us to do so efficiently.